Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motordrome Speedway, where tonight, Serini Harley-Davidson Buell of Route 51 in Rostraver presents the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series, 5 divisions strong. Joining us for tonight's opening ceremonies, we are pleased to have with us the New Stanton United Methodist Church Praise Team, who will deliver both the invocation and tonight's national anthem. At this time, we ask that everyone on Speedway grounds please rise if you are seated. If you are moving around the property, please pause with us for just a moment as we turn the microphone over to the New Stanton United Methodist Church Praise Team.
If you'd bow your heads. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for this wonderful country you've given us to live in. We ask your blessing upon the men and women serving in our military. Lord, we thank you for this evening's race. We ask your blessing and safety upon each driver, upon the men and women who work here, and all those in the pit crews. We ask your blessing and safety for those as they travel home this evening. All these things we thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to the New Stanton United Methodist Church Praise Team for tonight's opening ceremonies on Serini Harley-Davidson Buell Night here at the Motordrome Speedway. Cleveland, Ohio region. 32 is Matt Panaya, 99 is Bo Glemba. 5 is Jim Nicola, 11 John Probanich, 16 last week's winner Gary Scott, the points leader as we go green for 8 laps. Lincoln Welders open wheel modifieds in their first of 2 8-lap preliminary heat race events. Adam Kostelnik, who has 1 feature victory this season as defending track champion, opening up a big lead on Matt Panaya in car 32 from Plumboro. Panaya in the second spot, seeking a career first feature victory. Then it's the 5 of Jim Nicola. Nicola, the 2001 and 2003 champion of the modified division in 3rd spot, and from starting last, Gary Scott up to 4th in car 16. Gary Scott, 4th place on the Speedway, leading the championship point standings, the only repeat winner in the Lincoln Welders Modified Division. Scott with 2 feature wins. Riding in 4th with Jim Nicola, the former champ, in 3rd. Matt Panaya in 2nd in car 32. Adam Kostelnik of East McKeesport in car 60 checking out on this field with a big lead now. Seeing the crossed flags indicating halfway, 4 laps down, 4 remaining. Scott now works his way under Panaya for third. Jim Nicola up to second, but the fast advancing Scott, who started last on the grid, to the inside of the 5, challenging Nicola for second. Leader Adam Kostelnik last season, 7 times a feature winner with 13 heat race checkered flags en route to that second consecutive championship title, and he's got a straightaway lead over 2-time former champion Nicola in the 5. Gary Scott in 16 in third, Matt Panaya in car 32 in the 4th spot. He won 2 heat races last season and placed 5th in the 2005 final standings in car 32. White flag waving, final lap. Already this season with 1 feature victory, East McKeesport, Pennsylvania's Adam Kostelnik, the defending champion, wins his 3rd preliminary heat race of the season. Getting second by just a bumper, it's Jim Nicola over Gary Scott. 97 is George Nicola, 9 Rick Huffman, and the backup Viglione Racing number 68 car is driven by Tommy Beck as we are green and racing. Actually, we're not sure on the driver of the 68, that backup car driven by Tom Beck last week. Beck already belted into his late model. We'll check out who's shaking down that new modified on the back straight. While Harry Opfer of Bell Vernon leads lap number 1 in this second 8-lap preliminary heat for the Lincoln Welders modified. Harry Opfer in the 01 leading the 04 of Bobby Shipp. '04 of Bobby Shipp in second position was last year's modified Rookie of the Year, a former champion of the Charger division. Shipp has 1 heat race win already this season, while the 04 of Harry Opfer seeks his first checkered flag. 45 of Bernie McQuillan making only his 3rd Motordrome Speedway start. He is 3rd on the racetrack. Then it's Lonnie Hoffman in the 94, driver from right here in Smithton, holding off Ben Easler in the 7, and George Nicola in the 97, who is currently in the 4th position in championship standings. Nicola started just about scratch in this field in car 97. He has a feature win and a heat win this season, finding himself 4th in championship standings, and he is having a tough time with the 7 of Ben Easler. Meanwhile, up front, Harry Opfer continues to lead, seeking his first heat race win of the season. Bobby Shipp in the 04 car, the 2004 Charger Division champion, within 2 car lengths of fighting for the lead with Harry Opfer of Bell Vernon. Lead battle intensifies as Nicola spins the 97 in turn number 1. Driver 4th in the point standings in car 97. Bringing out the caution flag with 2 laps remaining. Speedways, which gets you free admission with your membership, and the green flag is out for the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. Final 2 laps. Harry Opfer hanging on by 1 car length over Bob Shipp at the wave of the white flag. Final time around the speedway, a possible first checkered flag for Bell Vernon's Harry Opfer. A possible 2nd heat win of the season for Bob Shipp, last year's Rookie of the Year. Bernie McQuillan hangs on to 3rd, and out of turn 4, last chance for Shipp to make a move. Harry Opfer wins his first heat race of the season. Finishing rookie and former track champion Gary Wiltrout in car 60 from Somerset. The 33 is John Komarinsky from Greensburg, and we're green and racing. Napa NASCAR Super Late Model 10-lap preliminary heat race finds John Messenger taking the early lead over Beck. Beck, a many-time feature winner at Motordrome Speedway, but his last victory coming back in 2003 as Bobby Henry dives to the inside in car 11. Bobby Henry with one feature victory this season in the Benz Motorsports number 11 car. Up to second position now. Henry with more than 100 feature wins in his dirt and asphalt career combined, charging hard on the 51 of Messenger. Two drivers battling for the lead, both longtime champion drivers in the dirt track limited late model wars. Messenger in the 51 to the inside, a former champion at Interstate and Tyler County Speedways. Henry, a former Motordrome champion on the dirt surface here. Working lap 3 of 10, Bobby Henry officially the leader at the scoring line in car 11. The Stone & Company lint flooring Megan Ford machine out in front. He has already this season won 2 heat races. Henry's teammate Gary Wiltrout in car 60, the 2002 Motordrome track champion, up to third after starting in the last row for this heat race. Side-by-side battle for fourth. Greg Kelly in the 98, Tommy Beck in 91. Greg Kelly takes away fourth position. He recently finished third in a 35-lap feature for a career best performance just a couple weeks ago in car 98, while Bobby Henry leads on lap 6 of 10. Tom Beck is off the pace and retiring car number 91 to the pit area. Last year's champion at the Jennerstown Speedway with a mechanical problem under the hood of the 91. This time Bobby Henry sees the signal for 2 laps to go. The white body panels on the front of car number 11 are a result of repair work done following a frightening crash 2 weeks ago, when Richard Mitchell's number 22 car landed on top of the 11 in feature racing competition. Bobby Henry, 5th in the championship point standings in car number 11 in turn 3 and now turn 4. Headed for his 3rd heat race win of the season in the Napa Auto Parts NASCAR Super Late Models. Finished 5th in last week's 100-lapper from Connellsville, starting 3rd. Then outside, it's Steve Black of Greensburg in car 1, Brandon Manns of North Huntington driving car 15, and Jamie Beck in car 92. 3 of last week's top 5 finishers in the Penn West Toyota Lift 100 are in this heat race. Richard Mitchell, last week's winner and current points leader, out in front. Side by side, Sean Pilla and Dan Lewis battle for second. Lewis in the 8 car, who made only a few starts last season as a late model rookie, was a winning truck division driver in 2005. He is now back to 3rd as Sean Pilla in car 5 had a surprising run last week and takes over 2nd in this heat race. Last week, Sean Pilla from Connellsville in car 5 started 28th and finished 5th in the 100-lap special event. He was maybe the fastest car on the racetrack late in the going, and he has taken 2nd away from Lewis. Then in 4th, Brandon Manns in car 15. Brandon Manns last week finishing inside the top 5 with a solid run in the 100-lapper. Manns in his 3rd year of super late model competition with a sophomore team that moved up from the truck division in car 15, holding on to 4th with 4 of 10 laps completed. Dan Lewis in car 8 prepared to battle back against Sean Pilla. Pilla made the pass for second, and Lewis battling back on the inside. Lewis, a feature winner here in truck competition and charger competition. Sean Pilla still seeking a career first victory in late model number 5, as is Brandon Manns of North Huntington in 15. Battle for second was nearly 3 cars strong, while Richard Mitchell checks out on this field. The driver of car 22, a 2-time Motordrome track champion and former NASCAR Northeast Region champion, with a straightaway lead in car 22. Then it's Lewis who reclaims the second position over Pilla. New life for the young driver from Greensburg in car 8. Pilla back to third, Brandon Manns in fourth. Manns last week with that strong performance in the Penn West Toyota Lift 100 vaulted himself up to second in the point standings. Manns fourth on the track, second in the standings, as Richard Mitchell approaches the scoring line to see the white flag indicating final lap. Out of turn 4, winning his 4th heat race of the season, Richard Mitchell in car 22 over Dan Lewis in car 8. Car starting on the outside of the front row is either Adam Kostelnik or Dave Tavermina. Car starting outside of row 3 is the other of that duo. 77 is Rich Burbage, 4 Vince Cater, 69 Joe Nicola. Green and Racing. The 05 machine is driven regularly on Saturday nights by Adam Kostelnik. They have taped a number 2 over the 0, so we're not sure if Tavermina may have jumped into that car. At the back of the field is Tavermina's regular ride number 25, which might be Kostelnik. Taking the lead, it is the hammer, Dave Tavermina. He's traded cars for tonight. He'll be scored as number 25, and he has just passed the points leader, Frank Turek, for the lead. 77 is Rich Burbage from Newcastle in third, then Joe Nicola, the 2-time winner, in 69. Four of Vince Cater. Oh, and we've got a problem up front. The leader is hard into the wall, collecting Rich Burbage. Frank Turek in the 5 got a piece of the 25 as it went hard into the outside retaining wall. The driver on board that machine that was leading is Dave Tavermina. We call him the Hammer. He hails from Wall, Pennsylvania, and typically drives the car that is still on the speedway and will be scored in third. 2 of 8 laps completed. Subway Street Stock heat racing action resumes with Frank Turek in car 5 leading Joe Nicola in 69. The division's 2 leading winners, 1 and 2 on the speedway right now. Adam Kostelnik in a rare street stock start here at Motordrome, battling with Vince Cater in the 4 for third position. As we'll be playing the Subway Street Stock Challenge later, want to name for you the participating locations, which include Uniontown Subways on West Main Street, Morgantown Street, Fayette Plaza, and Uniontown Mall. Subway locations in Rostraver, Perryopolis, Chalk Hill, Belle Vernon, Connellsville, Connellsville Walmart. Two Subway locations in Greensburg, including Davis Plaza and Eastgate Plaza. Subway locations in Jeanette, Harrison City. 3 in Mount Pleasant, including Main Street, Summit Ridge Plaza, and Walmart. And Subways in Murraysville. We'll honor your ticket stubs for a free 6-inch meatball sub if the Subway Challenge is claimed tonight. Last week, Joe Nicola, the driver of car 69, claimed the Subway Challenge, earning everybody a 6-inch meatball sub, while Frank Turek, the points leader, is leading him on the speedway with 3 laps remaining in this first preliminary heat for the Subway Street Stock. White flag in the air waving over Frank Turek, the three-time Subway Street Stock champion from Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. Our good friends at Subway last week presented Richard Mitchell, the Penn West Toyota Lift 100 winner, with a 6-foot Subway sandwich for his efforts last week. And the defending division champion this week, winning his heat race once again, Frank Turek in car number 5, holding off Joe Nicola and Adam Kostelnik. Finishing 4th in car 4, it's Vince Cater from New Salem, PA. 3rd, the 0 Waynesburg, is Sean Phillips, and the 34 machine is Rich Nicola, the former Pure Stock champion. And there's the green flag. Jason Holder in car 74 from Stoystown, Pennsylvania, out in front of this field. Holder last season won 2 heat races, and Nicola's got a problem on the back straight in car 34. That Ford Thunderbird is hard into the back straight wall. Rich Nicola from Pittsburgh, the 1996 Pure Stock champion here at Motordrome Speedway, encounters a problem. I think he was racing all by himself at the wave of the green flag, starting scratch in this heat race, tagging the tail of this field for the restart. Holder leading white, then it's Kostelnik. Sean Phillips making the big move that lap as he passed the 64 of Bill Henry for the 4th spot, and now Phillips looks to be closing in on the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik. Phillips had a terrific season last year, loaded with top 5 feature finishes, has not been up to that same pace yet in 2006 in car 31. Working lap 3 of 8, the lead battle intensifies. Robin Rimmel, the Napa Ford, in the 2nd spot. Jason Holder, the Chevrolet Monte Carlo, leading in car number 74. Holder won a feature victory last season, has yet to see a checkered flag in 2006. And after 2 heat race wins a year ago, Holder may still find himself without a checkered flag yet this season. Former champion Robin Rimmel, the longtime veteran, takes the lead on the back straightaway. Rimmel opened the inside lane out of turn 2 and working lap 5 of 8 finds himself out in front. Holder, who led the last completed lap, is back to 3rd with Andrew Kostelnik now on the move in car 57. 2 laps to go this time, and the young lion challenging the veteran. Robin Rimmel in car number 22, the 2002 Subway Street Stock champion, has just about 1 car length separating himself and young Andrew Kostelnik in 57. Rimmel drifting up the racetrack just a bit, opens the inside lane down the front straight as the white flag is waving. The Gombach Towing Monte Carlo number 57 of Andrew Kostelnik, able to make rear bumper contact with the leader hard on the back straight. 57 of Kostelnik gets squarely after that tag to the rear end of the Thunderbird. And the Napa Auto Parts number 22 of Robin Rimmel will head for the checkered flag in a hard-fought victory over Kostelnik. 51 is Clifford Abbott, 16 Robbie Hott, 5 is Bill Oldham, the 4 is Mike Lemley, and we go green for 6 laps of Yellow Book Charger heat race competition. Door-to-door up front, rear-wheel drive, 8-cylinder automatic transmission street passenger vehicles on street tires. The 34 of Aaron Minjock, a Buick Regal, fighting for the lead with the Oldsmobile Cutlass of Rick Broadwater in car 9. Here comes the Chevrolet Monte Carlo of Jimmy Stokes battling for 2nd. Stokes has 2 heat race wins and a feature victory this season in car 95, takes away the 2nd spot from Level Green, Pennsylvania's Rick Broadwater. side by side for the lead, and just by inches at the scoring line, Aaron Minjock, last week's winner, maintains the lead. Minjock just graduated up from the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers division, got his first Charger win last week, and now loses the lead on lap 2 of 6 to Jimmy Stokes of West Newton in car 95. All the gang from UPMC here tonight. Happy to see Jimmy Stokes taking the lead from Aaron Minjock. The 9 of Rick Broadwater is third. He was a 2-time feature winner last season. In fourth, the 51 of Clifford Abbott, driving the Kevin Ludwig Racing number 51. And then Mike Lemley in the 4, who was a big winner in the division 2 seasons ago. Bill Oldham spins but continues on. Green flag stays out. Great job by Oldham to keep the car moving. Spare us from a caution flag as the leaders Jimmy Stokes and Aaron Minjock pass by the slowed down number 5. For the third time in 2006, West Newton, Pennsylvania's Jimmy Stokes takes the checkered flag over Minjock. Him the 68 of Ed Neidhart from Renfrew. The 1 is points leader Tracy Keller. Starting to the outside of him, his cousin in car 13, Denny Keller. Here's the green flag. 6 laps of racing for the Yellow Book Chargers. Last year's most popular driver was Hunker's Harold Hunt in the big brown Buick. He falls back to third as Matt Gardner in the 7 takes second spot away, and 2 Charger Division rookies fight for the lead. Gardner in the 7 was a 2-time winner in the American Flyers last year. Christoffel is a true racing rookie back to second. After starting in the last row, points leader Tracy Keller in car 1 is up to the 3rd position now. His cousin Denny Keller in 4th. Matt Gardner, your leader, in the Novak number 7 from Ruffsdale, Pennsylvania. The race car that Gardner used to win 2 features last season in the American Flyers division. He still owns and put a new driver behind the wheel. We will see that car compete in just a moment. But as a rookie to the Chargers in that brand new number 7 car, Gardner has looked strong all season, seeks his first checkered flag. The 04 of Jimmy Christoffel in second, a true racing rookie, turned his first laps behind the wheel of this car on opening night 2006. This car was driven all last season by Brian Shipp, who's now in the modified division. And Christoffel has the 1 of Tracy Keller closing in quickly. Tracy Keller in car 1 from Mount Pleasant, PA, has 2 heat race wins and 2 feature victories this season. He's in 3rd position right now. He's got a few car lengths to go to challenge rookie Christoffel, while Matt Gardner is out in front and sees the white flag. Keller able to play bumper tag in the battle for second as he approaches the 04 of Christoffel, the rookie versus the veteran in the battle for second spot. But in turn number 4, all by himself, seeing his first checkered flag in the Yellow Book Charger division, Matt Gardner in the Nowak Excavating 7 getting the win over Christoffel. Finishing 5th in car 68 from Renfrew, Ed Neidhart, the rookie. Dan Jordan. 76 machine driven by Sal Deek, 22 car is Owen Rimmel, and the 7 is Jay Matthews. We're green and racing. 5-lap preliminary heat race for the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers finds 3 wide racing briefly in turn 1. Smithfield, Pennsylvania's Gary Ankrum in the 21 machine. A new Pontiac race car diving to the inside of the 05 of Andy Giles. Giles, the Mopar, on the outside lane. The youngster about to lose the lead to veteran Gary Ankrum. Ankrum in the 21, now out in front of the youngster Dan Jordan in car 32 so far this season. 2 heat race wins, 2 feature wins, and we're 3 wide again out of turn 2. Giles nearly on the grass, attempting to take the lead back from Ankrum. 3 wide again as Ankrum's the meat of a sandwich between Matthews, with whom he makes contact, and Giles on the bottom. All that goes on and allows Dan Jordan of Connellsville to take the lead. 22 car spinning on the entrance to the front straight out of turn 4. Owen Rimmel from Jones Mills, Pennsylvania. We continue green flag racing. Dan Jordan out in front. Andy Giles in second in the 05 continues to wage a war for the runner-up spot with Gary Ankrum. .32 of Dan Jordan out in front after 2 feature wins. Andy Giles in second, and look at the move from the back of the pack after contact with Gary Ankrum. Jay Matthews has that Dodge number 7 back up to 3rd as the white flag is waving. Mopar battle for second finds Jay Matthews taking the runner-up spot on the final lap from Giles, and out of turn 4 for the 3rd time this season, winning the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers heat race, Dan Jordan. I'm Frank from Concord, Ohio. The 2 is Mike Musiak from Export, and we're green and racing. Bo Glemba in car 91, the newlywed, leading lap number 1. Glemba in car 99 from Charleroi, Pennsylvania. Currently 3rd in the championship standings, was just married about 6 weeks ago. After competing here on a Friday night, he tied the knot on Saturday, and he holds off Bob Shipp, last year's Rookie of the Year, working lap number 2 of 20. Contact in turn 1, Matt Panaya in the 32, getting into the back of Lonnie Hoffman in the 94. That battle for 6th position now raging on as McQuillan now makes contact with the 94. Everybody on the brakes, and we stay green flag racing. The 04 of Bob Shipp trying to hold off the 97 of George Nicola. Nicola with 1 feature, and we got a problem, a big problem in turn 4. The 45 of McQuillan, the 01 of Opfer, the 7 of Ben Easler right in the middle of that. The 40 of Brian Shipp might have been involved. Adam Kostelnik in the 60 did a good job of avoiding it, and I think some contact was made also with the 16 car of Gary Scott. It's Bernie McQuillan in the 45 car. McQuillan able to continue after stopping on the exit of turn number 4. Ben Easler in the 7 got contact on all 3 sides of that machine. He may be headed down pit lane, while Adam Kostelnik made an evasive move, nearly spinning the 60 car to avoid contact. And Harry Opfer, who won his first heat race of the season in car 01, headed pit side as a result of that incident in turns 3 and 4. Champion. Then Prabanich also seeking a career first win in car 11 as we're green and racing, working lap 3 of 20. Lead challenge finds Bob Shipp tagging the rear bumper of Bo Glemba's 99 car. Bob Shipp in the 04 able to get into turn 3 better than the leader and gains a car length each time, and then in turns 1 and 2 he backs up toward the George Nicola 97 car. best battle on the track for 5th. Matt Panaya in the 32, and the 5 of Jim Nicola. Nicola outside, Panaya using the low groove of the speedway at the scoring line. Nicola officially hangs on to 5th, and right behind them there's contact. Kostelnik flattens the right front tire in contact with Lonnie Hoffman's 94, and we're gonna need a caution flag for the defending champion. Jim Nicola in 5, Matt Panaya in 32. We're green and racing, and Gary Scott all the way up into the marbles against the outside retaining wall. Rick Huffman in the 9 makes contact with the inside wall on the front straight. All sorts of action on the lap 6 restart with 14 laps to go. Huffman cannot get the car turned into the pits. Caution will be for the 9 of Rick Huffman, but a bad night just gets worse for Gary Scott, second in the championship standings in car 16. Scott losing several positions on that restart, and now Huffman bringing out the caution. Career checkered flag maybe tonight if he can hold off sophomore driver Bob Shipp and George Nicola. Gary Scott now the man on the move after that excursion up to the outside retaining wall in turn 4 on the restart. Scott passing Hoffman in the 94 now up to the 7th position. We're working lap number 7 with Bo Glemba now opening up a 5 or 6 car length advantage over Bob Shipp. George Nicola in the 97 moving to the outside lane in turn 3. Nicola last year, many times a feature winner and cannot make the move on lap 7. Working lap 8, he hangs onto the outside lane in turn 1. Wheel to wheel in turn 2, Bob Shipp in 04, George Nicola in 97. Second position now belongs to Nicola as Bob Shipp will be trying to fend off the 11 of John Prabanich. George Nicola in 2nd, his uncle Jim Nicola in 5th. Between them, the 04 of Bob Shipp and the 11 of John Prabanich. Nicola was noticeably faster than the 04 of Shipp as he took 2nd position. Now let's see if he can close in on the Glemba 99 car. At the halfway point of the event, Glemba is running away. And just as quickly as we mentioned, his uncle Jim Nicola in 5th, Gary Scott in car 16 is up to challenge Nicola for a top 5 position on the scoreboard. '99 of Bo Glemba, your leader, with a loose handling condition out of turn number 4. The back end of the car threatened to come around on him. He corrected and nearly made contact with the outside wall, but maintains a healthy lead over George Nicola. Fastest car on the racetrack might be Gary Scott, who took the 5th position away, and Ben Easler has spun in turn 2. Caution flag as turn 2, Ben Easler has come to a stop in car 7. Scott up to 5th. Here's the green flag, and Charleroi Bo Glemba may have his hands full. Are the tires still good enough to hold off this field of Lincoln Welders Modifieds? George Nicola now spins and has to back off, and repercussions find Shipp taking evasive action and Gary Scott driving through the grass. Gary Scott's tough night continues. He drove to the inside to avoid the drastically slowing George Nicola, and now it's George's uncle Jim Nicola taking 2nd. Two-time modified champ Jim Nicola spins to the inside, and the leader has spun. Unbelievable action as Jim Nicola in the 5 moves up to challenge for 2nd with his nephew and spins to the inside. Just as the caution is displayed, leader Bo Glemba spins in almost the same spot to go in tonight's Lincoln Welder Modified feature, and there's the green flag. Jim Nicola in second, nephew George Nicola in third, Bob Ship of Elizabeth, Pennsylvania in fourth. Glemba still leading by 4 or 5 car lengths. He's held that lead over Bob Ship, and now he holds that lead over Jim Nicola. Close racing in the battle for third. George Nicola and Bob Ship were wheel to wheel in turn 1. Nicola hangs on to third, and look at Adam Kostelnik, the man on the move. He takes the outside lane to pass John Prabanich, and defending champion in car 60 has marched up from a pit stop to find himself in the 5th position. Kostelnik's number 60 car, after a tire change from the Viglione Racing crew, is now wheel to wheel with Bob Ship in the battle for 4th. Kostelnik with 1 feature victory this season alongside the sophomore driver, and at the scoring line by inches, Kostelnik officially takes over 4th spot, working lap 16. Just 4 laps to go, and Bo Glemba's lead is now increasing over Jim Nicola. Kostelnik slides into 4th by a full car length and closes on George Nicola in 97. Signal of 2 laps to go, given to Bo Glemba in car 99. His 3rd year of modified competition, seeking his 2nd career checkered flag. Comes into tonight 3rd in championship standings. And we've got a problem in turn number 1. Ben Easler spins the 7 car. With 2 laps to go. Glemba's lead is quickly 3, maybe 4 car lengths over Jim Nicola. Adam Kostelnik in car 60 battled from the rear of the field to a top 3 position, looking for the inside lane after he made all those outside passes to challenge for 2nd at the white flag. Charleroi, Pennsylvania's Bo Glemba in car 99. Raced on Friday night before tying the knot on a Saturday just weeks ago, and the newlywed 3rd-year modified driver has his 2nd career victory and 1st of the season in the Lincoln Welders Modifieds. Ladies and gentlemen, climbing from car number 99, he can hear you 2nd time in his career, Bo Glemba, the feature winner. Come on over here, Bo. A kiss from your new wife. This is your first time winning as a married man. First of all, let's go back and talk about the weekend that you came here to race just hours before tying the knot with your girlfriend. Tell us about how you convinced her to let you come racing on a Friday right before your wedding.
She knew since the beginning I love racing, so she's cool with it.
She's cool with it, and tonight your whole team has got to think you're one of the coolest guys in the world for driving to victory. You had an up front starting spot, but it looked like the car started to get loose handling about the middle of that race.
Yeah, we've been fighting that for about 3 weeks now, and we actually loosened the car up for the feature, and it ended up working, so I don't know. I'm still confused, but whatever, it's fast.
We saw you nearly make contact with the outside wall there around the midpoint of the race. Did you think you had enough to hang on to those guys? You had former champions breathing down your neck there for a while.
If it wasn't for all them cautions and letting my tires cool down, then I wouldn't have had a chance, because after 4 or 5 laps, it was junk.
Well, taking a look at that and taking the notes back to correct that problem for next week, how about a chance to thank the sponsors and the hard-working crew that set this car up for victory tonight?
All right, I got to thank Kristen, my wife. She helps me out like crazy. Little Mikey helps me. Spunky does the setup on the car. That's the whole ball game's a setup, and he's my man on that. He knows what's going on. And Jay and Dave and Rick Miller, and we'll go to sponsors. I got to thank Gilmore Engineering, Grace United Methodist Church, Dream Designs Embroidery, Monongahela Auto Parts, and my main sponsor, C&M Enterprises. They helped me out big time financially this year, and Klinger Auto Body did the body on the car, and Wheatley Construction for helping me out with some money, so that's about it.
He does most of his talking with the right foot, and he is a winner for the second time in his career, Bo Glemba from Charleroi. Former champions Robin Rimmel and Frank Turek lead him to the green flag, and we're racing. 20 laps of competition for the Subway Street Stocks. Defending champion Frank Turek gets the early lead. Third place is the 31 of Sean Phillips, who could win everybody a free meatball sub tonight. To do so, he's going to have to fend off the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik, who advances to third on the start. Trouble again for the hammer, Dave Tavermina in car 25, collecting the 64 of Vandergrift's Bill Henry. Tough luck tonight for Tavermina, who crashed the 05 car in his heat race. And now, as a second place driver in the championship point standings, goes back to his usual ride and has this lap one problem. Yeah. Kostelnik, the youngest driver among the top 5, as Sean Phillips, the Subway Challenge racer for the night, restarts fourth. Rimmel in 22, holding off the youngster. Last year, Robin Rimmel was the fan favorite driver in this division with the Napa Ford. And right now, Kostelnik's Monte Carlo is door-to-door with him out of 4, and they make hard contact on the front straight. Robin Rimmel is into the inside wall. Andrew Kostelnik made that contact, and it was accidental as Kostelnik nearly lost the handle on the 57 out of turn 4. He did a great job to gather the car back in, but right in the path of his correction was the 22 of Rimmel, who makes hard inside wall contact on the front straight. The fan favorite driver from last season, Robin Rimmel of White, Pennsylvania, the former champion, stopped at the end of the front straight after tearing down the billboards here on the inside front straight wall. Sean Phillips, Vince Cater, and Jason Holder, here's the green flag. Battle for second. I thought Kostelnik might have something for Turek, but instead, Kostelnik is losing ground to the Subway Challenge driver, Sean Phillips. Frank Turek is checking out on this field, working lap number 2, and Sean Phillips is up to challenge young Kostelnik. Behind him, 3 wide on the back straight. Joe Nicola to the inside. Vince Cater in the middle, sliding 4 through turn number 4. A great save after contact. Result is Jason Holder hanging on to 4th position. Vince Cater with a great save after contact from Joe Nicola, and now he gets hit to the inside by Rich Burbage. Cars are locked up, Cater spins, Burbage continues, and a top 5 performance by Vince Cater has come to an end as a result of contact. Burbage in the 77, the Newcastle driver, headed to the pits. Turek leads Andrew Kostelnik and Sean Phillips back to the green flag. The battle for second was a heated one, and it resumes. Sean Phillips of Waynesburg to the inside. Andrew Kostelnik giving him lots of room, using the outside lane as the 57 car, and Phillips, tonight's Subway Challenge driver, looking to complete the pass for the runner-up spot on Andrew Kostelnik. Officially at the scoring line, Sean Phillips takes over second on lap 4 of 20. If Phillips can gain one more position, we'll all be dining on Subway meatball subs, but Frank Turek is a 2-time winner and 3-time champion with a big lead beginning to work lap number 5. Up to 4th in car 69, West Mifflin's Joe Nicola, who's quickly challenging Kostelnik to the inside. Nicola is a 3-time winner. That Ford, which he told us in Victory Lane last week, is his homemade attempt at a Thunderbird body. officially at the scoring line, takes third position away from Andrew Kostelnik. The three-time winner Nicola on the move from the back of the field as Vince Cater returns to action in car 4. Seven of 20 laps completed, and Mount Pleasant's Frank Turek out in front. Champion of the Subway Street Stocks in 2005, 2004, and all the way back to 1998. The most veteran driver in the division as a result of Robin Rimmel being eliminated from competition. Rimmel, the only driver racing longer than Turek in Subway Street Stock competition. Joe Nicola is up to challenge the Subway driver Sean Phillips. Bumper contact in turn 3 is the battle for second. Joe Nicola in car number 69, the three-time winner, door-to-door with Sean Phillips, who seeks his first career feature win. Phillips last season was a heat race winner, but has yet to see a checkered flag in a feature. And at the halfway point of the event, Nicola takes away second place. The question now, is Joe Nicola as fast as leader Frank Turek, and will he need a caution to demonstrate that power? Turek all by himself out front with a lead of just under one straightaway over Joe Nicola. Monte Carlo out front, Ford Thunderbird in second, Vintage Monte Carlo in third, then Andrew Kostelnik in 57. And Jason Holder in 74 in jeopardy of losing a top 5 run as Rich Burbage has battled back from that flat tire to the rear bumper of Holder's 74 car. Leader Frank Turek is a go-kart track promoter on Saturday nights. Turek promoting the Acme Speedway for young karting enthusiasts. Meanwhile, the battle for fifth rages on. Rich Burbage in 77 taking that position from Jason Holder entering turn 3. Holder fighting back on the outside. Burbage hasn't yet cleared the 74 machine. And on lap 14, Burbage takes over the 5th spot. Signal given to leader Frank Turek is of 5 laps to go. Best battle on the speedway is for third position. Sean Phillips in 31 and Andrew Kostelnik in 57. The battle for third is one of multi-generational Chevrolet Monte Carlos. Kostelnik in 57 got his career first win last season. Phillips yet to see a feature checkered flag. Kostelnik in 57 got that career first win last season. Just 1 week after a horrifying crash, he and his champion brother, Adam Kostelnik, from the open wheel modified ranks, rebuilt the machine and did so admirably as it drove to victory lane right after a devastating crash. With 3 laps to go, Kostelnik is making all kinds of contact with the rear bumper of Sean Phillips. A great battle for third shaping up in the late stages of this Subway Street Stock feature. Sean Phillips experiencing the loose handling condition out of turn 4. Kostelnik stays right with him. White flag waving for Frank Turek. He maintains his lengthy lead over Joe Nicola. In turns 3 and 4, the crafty veteran and 3-time champion, becomes a three-time winner in 2006. Frank Turek wins the Subway Street Stock feature on Serini Harley-Davidson Buell Night. As the racing grandfather, Frank Turek, climbs out of car number 5. Frank, we have another Subway gift certificate for you. You know, you've been here in Victory Lane so many times, I think I could name the sponsors for you. Should I take a crack at that?
Go for it.
All right, you want to thank the Acme Speedway, you want to thank Westside Lube and Tire, Frank Turek Plumbing and Heating. Did I miss any?
See Chris.
Seacrest Auto Supply, that's right, I knew that. Hey, I was just telling the fans, I'm not going to ask how old you are until you win 5 or more races. That's the deal we made last time. So here's what I'm going to ask you this time. You told us you were a grandfather. How old are your grandchildren?
She's 6 weeks old.
6 weeks old. Congratulations to you on that. Now, here's the big question. How many feature events have you won in the Subway Street Stocks at Motordrome?
Honestly, couldn't tell you.
You're not a statistics guy, is that right?
No, I'm not.
That's why you're not telling me your age either, right?
We don't keep track.
That's right. Hey, this one, you started right up front. It seemed like everything was all your way. Sean Phillips told me earlier that week to week, if he doesn't change the car, it feels like the track changes. Do you guys make changes to this machine week to week?
We make small changes throughout the evening.
Throughout the evening, from heat to feature even?
Yeah.
So you can read this track pretty well all these years you've been winning championships.
We keep trying. Sometimes we miss.
Now, how about you thank the sponsors just one last time after this 3rd win of the season?
Hey, we got to thank Latropes. No, that ain't on here no more, huh?
I do know them better than you.
Absolutely. Acme Speedway, Westside Lube and Tire, and Seacrest. Them guys are good help to us all. And my crew, they all do a great job for me. And thank the fans for coming out.
I've said it time and time again, nobody has more fun at Motordrome Speedway than Frank Turek in car 5. Steve Marrow. 15 is Brandon Mans from North Huntington. 33, John Komarinsky from Greensburg. 60, Gary Wiltrout from Somerset. 22, Richard Mitchell from Brewston Mills, West Virginia. Tommy Beck in 91, his wife Jamie Beck in 92. Dan Lewis pulls out of the starting grid before the starting car number 8. And Steve Black in car number 1 gets into the outside wall after contact from Sean Pilla, but he continues racing. We're still under green flag after the leader pounds the outside wall on the back straight. A terrific save with broken right front suspension for the Toyota number 1 of Steve Black. A very impressive save as he continues moving the right direction with badly damaged suspension. Leader is now Sean Pilla in car 5. Sean Pilla of Connellsville last week finished 5th in a rare start in a 100-lap race for this driver. A career best performance, no doubt, last week. Now he has to hold off fellow Connellsville, Pennsylvania resident Bobby Henry in the R&R Motorsports 11. Henry dives nearly off the racetrack looking for an inside lane and makes the pass. Henry in car 11. One time a feature winner this season, last year many times a victor. Best battle is for 3rd, Greg Kelly in the 98. West Virginia's John Messenger in 51 and Brandon Mans in 15, who had one of the strongest performances of all the local drivers last week in the 100-lapper. 3 wide on the front straight. Greg Kelly and Sean Pilla both seeking a career first feature win, as is Messenger, who looks to the inside then thinks better of it. Messenger, Mr. Consistency, always finishing in the top 5 in the final point standings for the season, takes over sole possession of 3rd spot as Sean Pilla drifts backwards. Pilla now has Brandon Mans in car 15 alongside. Mans in last week's Penn West Toyota Lift 100 launched himself up to 2nd in the championship point standings. He's now up to 4th on the racetrack. Look at the battle for 2nd. John Messenger in car 51, the Cochran Auto, Advance Auto Parts number 51 Monte Carlo, challenging the Froggy 98 machine of former Truck Division champion Greg Kelly. On lap 8 of 35, Messenger takes over 2nd spot, and here comes Brandon Mans, the North Huntington driver in the Mans Home Medical Office Plus Ford Taurus number 15. Just behind this battle is Brewston Mills, West Virginia's Richard Mitchell. Working lap 9 of 35, Mans takes over 4th spot. Here comes Mitchell just as quickly, who started deep in the field. Mitchell has passed Greg Kelly and has one front fender to the inside of Brandon Mans. Out of turn 4, nearly a dead heat at the line. By just inches on lap 10, Brandon Mans officially maintains the 3rd spot, trying to hold off the 3-time winner this season, Richard Mitchell. Bobby Henry with a lead of approximately a straightaway. Over the West Virginian, John Messenger in 2nd. Messenger, the Dirt Limited late model champion, seeking a career first feature victory. Has about 8 car lengths between himself and the heated battle for 3rd with Mitchell, after going door to door with Mans finally taking away 3rd position. Working lap number 12, Mans falls back into the 4th spot. Mitchell in 3rd, up from the rear of the field, and John Messenger in 2nd, with Mitchell gaining about 2 car lengths, maybe 3 car lengths a lap, while Bobby Henry runs away from this field up front. Mitchell made the pass for 3rd to the inside of Brandon Mans. Now he looks to the outside of John Messenger. A battle of Mountaineer State residents rages on for 2nd, Richard Mitchell. In the 22, leading winner last season with 8 victories. Leading winner in 2006 with 3 wins. Messenger hangs on to 2nd place at the scoring line on lap 15, but only by inches. After working his way past Brandon Mans on the inside, Richard Mitchell completes a pass for the runner-up spot using the high side of Motordrome Speedway. Henry still leads by 1 full straightaway over Richard Mitchell. Working lap 16 of 35 on Harley-Davidson night at the Speedway. Out of the event, Dan Lewis in the 8, Jamie Beck in the 92, and Steve Black in the 1. Meanwhile, a battle develops for top 5 positions. Greg Kelly in 5th, feeling the pressure of Tom Beck in the 91. Beck, the Murraysville, Pennsylvania driver, whose wife has fallen out of this event with mechanical problems, battling Kelly to the inside. Beck, many times a winner here at Motordrome, a champion driver at the Jennerstown Speedway, and won the biggest open wheel modified event in Motordrome Speedway history. Beck clears the 98 of Kelly and down the back straight completes the pass for 5th, working lap 19. Henry's lead maintains about the same distance over Mitchell that he had over Messenger. 15 laps remaining now, working lap 20. And Henry's teammate heads to pit road under green. Former track champion Gary Wiltrout in the 60 car. The Benz Motorsports entry, pulling pit side and may not even be under power, while the power of his teammate is evident. The R&R Motorsports Ford of Bobby Henry way out in front of this field tonight. Working lap 22, leader Bobby Henry will encounter lapped traffic in just a couple circuits around the speedway. Battling for position, Dave Merrow in the 69 and the 5 of Sean Pilla, who started up at the front of this field, both in jeopardy of going a lap down, and now side by side in front of the leader in turn 4. The lap traffic could play right into the hands of Richard Mitchell. Merrow in 69, making only his 4th NASCAR Super Late Model start, is racing for position with Sean Pilla, and the leader is caught in the middle. Pilla goes one lap down after starting on the front row. Henry moves up one lane and clears Pilla's machine, drawing closer to the back bumper of rookie Merrow. Merrow, a former truck division champion. A true rookie to NASCAR late model competition, made his first start a few weeks ago. Goes one lap down to leader Bobby Henry on lap 25. Mitchell was able to close about half the distance between himself and Henry as a result of the lap traffic, but now Mitchell himself will face those same back markers. John Messenger hangs on to the third spot, Brandon Mann's in fourth, Tom Beck in fifth. Henry now encounters his teammate Wiltrout, who is not up to speed and headed back to pit lane. Henry's lead now back up to roughly a full straightaway, working lap 28 of 35. Tonight's racing action sponsored by Serini Harley-Davidson Buell. Serini Harley-Davidson of Route 51 North in Rostraver, providing a display of Harley-Davidsons for us tonight. Good friends and longtime sponsors of the Motordrome Speedway, Pennsylvania's oldest Harley-Davidson dealer, Serini Harley-Davidson Buell. With 5 laps to go, Bobby Henry maintains an advantage over points leader Richard Mitchell. Last week, Henry had a disastrous Penn West Toyota Lift 100 as he withdrew from competition very early in the going. Coming into that race as a favorite to win, he was the Napa 100 winner in 2004, and in just 3 laps could earn his second feature victory of 2006. Henry slides the car out of turn number 2 and lost several car lengths that lap. Henry's car is not performing as well as it did early in this event, but the good news is he has just seen the signal for 2 laps to go, and that may not be enough time for Richard Mitchell to close in and make a move. Henry's car is definitely slower than it was at the start of this feature event. White flag now waving for the longtime Motordrome veteran. The Stone and Company, Lint Flooring, Megan Ford, R&R Motorsports Taurus of Bobby Henry down the back straight on the final lap on Serini Harley-Davidson Buell night. And for the second time in 2006, Bobby Henry is a feature winner in the NASCAR Napa Super Late Models, winning over Mitchell. Third place, John Messenger. Fourth is Brandon Mans, and fifth, Tom Beck. And climbing out of the car, ladies and gentlemen, he can hear you, Bobby Henry. Well, Bobby Henry, this race car has white panels, black panels, yellow panels. After a devastating crash a few weeks ago, tell us what kind of damage the car sustained and what had to be done by this hard-working crew.
Well, basically a whole front clip and knocked the pulleys off the front of the motor, and it's all brand new from the, just like Richard said last week, it's identical damage to both cars, front clip and right side door bars, and a lot of money. This team took a big financial hit with that wreck, and last week screwed us in the points, and we're here to win now and try to get some $6,000 we spent in that wreck back, you know.
Tell us what happened to the car last week. You came into that 100-lapper as a favorite based on your Napa 100 win in 2004. What went wrong last week?
The ignition box wire from the distributor to the ignition box burn up, but that was a cheap fix, you know. That was only $10.
Now, talking about tonight's race, it seemed like smooth going until the very end. We saw the car get very loose a couple times exiting turn number 2. Was it the tires going away? Was the setup not quite right at the end of this one?
Well, that, and I think there's a good bit of oil out in there in the corners and stuff. And we actually ran last week's tires tonight, and I think we were losing a little bit there. And I know everybody else had 4 new ones on, but it all worked out. I was starting up front, and Richard in the back definitely helped with no cautions, that's for sure.
Now, last season, when you first got this ride, in Victory Lane, you said, hey, we're here to race for fun. We're not going to chase the championships. And what happened is you fell only a few points shy of the track title. You said you lost a lot of points last week. I have a hunch that you guys can battle back from this and threaten for the track title.
Well, it would take some bad luck on Richard's part and the rest of the guys in front of me, because unless the car counts pick up, it'll be tough to make up that many points. But, you know, it's early yet, and we'll see what happens.
And now a chance to thank all the sponsors on this R&R Motorsports entry for getting you to Victory Lane a second time.
I'd like to thank Stone & Company, Megan Ford, Lint Flooring, Quality Support, and there's Fox's Pizza, Daily Courier, Colton's Restaurant, Centos, Stan's Transmissions, Bob Mongell Car Care, K&R Commercial Tires.
For a second time in 2006, the driver with more than 100 feature wins, Bobby Henry, finds Victory Lane. Machine starting scratches last week's winner, Aaron Minjock. Green flag in the air. Thanks to our honorary starter, Matthew, we are green racing and 3 wide on the back straight. Mike Lemley in the 4 to the inside. Ed Neidhart, the meat of the sandwich, and Jimmy Stokes weaving through traffic at the front of the field in car 95. In one lap, Jimmy Stokes goes from mid-pack to way out in front, taking the lead from Denny Keller in the 13. Denny Keller's cousin, Tracy Keller, the points leader in car number 1, is now to the outside of a 3-wide battle. Gardner makes contact with Christoffel on the front straight. A tremendous save by a rookie driver. The 0-4 of Jimmy Christoffel held onto that race car after hard contact on the front straight. Now we're 3 wide again in turn 3. Points leader Tracy Keller on the outside. American Flyer Division graduate Matt Gardner takes the position in car 7 and is quickly challenging for runner-up. Gardner with a loose handling number 7 car trying to fight off Keller. And Keller. He's got the entire Keller family glued to his rear bumper while Jimmy Stokes takes off with the lead, and contact too severe that time. Gardner hangs on to it and comes to a stop. Excellent job of not making contact. He loses every position, but we stay under green flag conditions. Jimmy Stokes in car 95 from West Newton, the leader. One-time winner already this season. Last year with numerous victories in the Charger division. Now side by side the Keller family. Tracy in car number 1, Denny in 13. Tracy Keller started near the rear of this field and on lap number 5 is fighting tooth and nail with his cousin for runner-up. Racing rookie Jimmy Christoffel in the 0-4 in 4th, then Rick Broadwater 5th in car 9. Best battle on the racetrack is for second position involving family members. Monongahela's Denny Keller in car 13 won his first career feature early this season. Tracy Keller is the leading winner in the division in car number 1 this season. They are door to door as teammates and cousins battling for second, a full straightaway behind leader Jimmy Stokes. In turn number 4, the cousins battle is won this lap by Tracy Keller in the 1. As Denny Keller falls back into third, the battle for fourth heats up. Trouble turn 2. Caution flag for Robbie Hott in the 16, who spins after being touched by the 7 of Gardner. Robbie Hott in car 16, one of Western Pennsylvania's all-time great demolition derby champions. Now a Charger competitor in car 16. Green flag is out. Stokes trying to hold off Tracy Keller from deep in the field. Stokes made all of his moves from the middle of the pack right at the wave of the green flag on lap 1. Tracy Keller has methodically made his moves from the back of the pack up to second, and Stokes is not getting away from the points leader. In the battle for fifth, last week's winner, Aaron Minjock, has just passed the 4 of Mike Lemley and pulls door to door with Rick Broadwater in the 9. They are both chasing down rookie Jimmy Christoffel from Jefferson Hills, PA in the 04. Christoffel, meanwhile, closes into the rear bumper of Denny Keller in third spot in car 13. Denny Keller with a push in the race car. Tight handling condition as the 13 drifts nose first up to the outside retaining wall. Opening the door for Christoffel in the 04. Jefferson Hills rookie taking over third spot. Nearly 3 wide just behind Minjock, last week's winner in 34. On the outside of Keller with Rick Broadwater in the 9, right there to strike. Three wide, turn 1, 3 wide, turn 2. Minjock grabs the 4th position and closes in on Christoffel. Broadwater sends Denny Keller back 1 more spot. 2 laps to go now, and Jimmy Stokes has opened up a big lead again on Tracy Keller in the 1. Best battle is for third, door-to-door racing. Minjock, a rookie to the Chargers after winning twice last year in the American Flyer division. Racing door-to-door with Christoffel, who slides the car out of 4. That will allow him to surrender the 3rd position to Minjock. And on the final lap, headed down the back straight into turns 3 and 4 for the 2nd time this season. The driver from West Newton, Pennsylvania, Jimmy Stokes, sees the checkered flag on Serenity Harley-Davidson night. Tracy Keller, the points leader, coming home 2nd, and hard contact out of turn 4 in a battle at the back of the pack between Lemley and Gardner. Trophy tonight will be presented to Jimmy Stokes. He's out of the car and can hear you, dousing himself with water after the hard-fought victory. Well, leave it to Jimmy Stokes to throw off the conversations for the night. Last week we had a 100-lap late model feature, and everybody talked about patience. Got to be patient. Got to wait. Got to make your move when it permits. Lap number 1, you stormed through that field like a man possessed. Tell us about your start to this event.
My wife says I don't have patience in the bedroom, and I surely don't have it on the track either.
And sharing too much information with us here on the front straight, Jimmy. Now, you're always known for aggressive moves. Did you have in your mind to take the lead on lap 1, or did the cars just line themselves up to let you weave through traffic like a master?
Right. No. The game plan was to sit back a little bit and see how things were going to try to fold out. But when I seen a little bit of gap I had to take advantage of it.
And take advantage you did. You ran off from the rest of the field for a while. Then the caution flag. Who lines up right behind you but the points leader, Tracy Keller? You had to hold off the best of them in the second half of that one.
And Tracy is one of the best drivers out there. I give him a lot of credit. He's a good guy.
And with this being your 2nd win of the season, a chance to thank your sponsors and crew for making it all possible.
Well, first of all, I got to thank my pit crew for getting my car ready for me. Without them, I couldn't have done any of this. And secondly, I'd like to thank Harmony Auto Parts, the 2 Larrys up there, UPMC McKeesport, Fort Robinson Outlet, Complete Car Care, Bob over there did help me out a lot. Stan's Transmissions, they did me good, and Cheer Band Tires.
Well, we appreciate you coming to Victory Lane with your unique celebrations. And now a chance to pose for the cameras on Serini Harley-Davidson night. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Stokes. Who starts last, who won on opening night, and Dan Jordan in the 32, a two-time winner this season. Four-cylinder street passenger vehicles, entry level of competition, we're green and racing. 8 laps the distance. Jay Matthews has yet to visit Victory Lane. That car was twice a winner with Matt Gardner behind the wheel a year ago. Leading winner in the division, Dan Jordan in car 32, has already made his way around the 21 of Gary Ankrum and just may be closing on the leader. In fourth, Rimmel. In fifth, Andy Giles in the 05. Race fans, if you're interested in moving from the grandstands to the Speedway, you are watching the most affordable way to build your own race car. Find a 4-cylinder American-made street passenger car, add the roll cage for safety, get yourself a fireproof uniform, and you can be racing on the NASCAR sanctioned half mile. Jay Matthews, the rookie, in the Dodge Daytona number 7. Leading the Buick of Dan Jordan, number 32. In third, the Pontiac of Gary Ankrum in car 21. And look at Sal Deek coming from the back of the field, passing Andy Giles in the 05, and now passing Rimmel's 22. Deek, the opening night winner, the man on the move. He had a violent crash the last time he was behind the wheel of that car. And we are halfway through tonight's feature for the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers. Jay Matthews continues to lead. Battle develops for third as Sal Deek runs into the back of Gary Ankrum's 21, which sends him right into the 22 of Rimmel. Gary Ankrum, a victim in that one, as the 21 car was hit from behind initially by Sal Deek, which got him loose and crossed up and placed him right in the path of the 22 of Rimmel. Could the Rimmel racing team possibly be having a more disastrous night? Damage to Robbins Street Stock number 22 in the Subway 20-lap feature, and now damage to the 22 machine here in the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers. He's able to continue with that machine. Great to see Gary Ankrum refire the 21 Sunbird and pull that away from the scene of the accident. That car only about 5 weeks old for Ankrum. Up to speed after he pounded the Ankrum 21. And then Giles in the 05, that's another Mopar sitting back there in fourth. Kevin Ludwig of Star Junction in the 51 car finds himself on the scoreboard, riding in the top 5 position. Gary Ankrum in the 21 seems to have not lost anything with that hard hit over there in turn 4. He takes a position away from Ludwig. Matthews opens up his lead just a little bit more on the 2-time winner. A year ago, Dan Jordan was competing in the Yellow Book Chargers. Now he's in the American Flyers where he started his career. And it's a rookie, Jay Matthews, holding him at bay by 6-7 car lengths. 2 laps to go, the signal given to Matthews. White flag waving this time for Jay Matthews in car 7. The final lap of the final feature on Serini Harley-Davidson Buell night at Motordrome. with a lead of 5, 6 car lengths in turns 3 and 4. It will be a first feature win for the rookie in car number 7, Jay Matthews. Takes the checkered flag over Dan Jordan. Out of the car in victory lane for his first career win, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Matthews. Well, Jay Matthews, the first time that we get to talk to you, tell us first of all a little bit about this car and how you became the driver of it.
I worked on it last year as, I guess, crew chief for Matt. He ran it last year in 7 races. 5 races? 7? And just went from there. He moved on to the Chargers, and he asked me if I wanted to drive the car.
So from crew chief to driver and now to winner. What were your goals coming into this season, knowing that you worked on the car last year? Did you think you could equal the win total by Mr. Car Owner back there?
I had one goal, that was to win before he did, and I think I did it.
He's come awfully close in the Charger division, and with your car owner standing behind you in victory lane, take an opportunity to thank the sponsors, and I assume now you have a new crew chief since you're the driver, is that right?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my cousin Matt, Mag Racing, for giving me the opportunity to drive the car, and my crew chief Dennis brings the car for me every week, and Westside Tire and Lube, they give the best tires you could even dream about. That's about it. Kansas City Saloon's also coming on tonight as a associate sponsor.
Well, that's the way to win over an associate sponsor, by winning the feature. Congratulations on a career first, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Matthews.